Strategically located in the oil-rich south-south base of Nigeria and flanked by the Atlantic Ocean, the Bight of Bonny, Cross River, Imo River, and a string of other rivers, Akwa Ibom State, with a population of 3.9 million friendly people, is a harbor and sanctuary and serenity.
Akwa Ibom is blessed with the longest coastline in Nigeria. It is a key member of Nigeria's economic power block, rich in crude oil, natural gas, gold, limestone, salt, silver nitrate, glass sand, and a diversity of agricultural produce.
A prominent state in the Niger Delta region, Akwa Ibom State is not only deltaic in some parts, it is also endowed with a beautiful low-lying topography with some rolling hills beautifully sprinkled in it too and in the areas of the state.
The rich cultural heritage of Akwa Ibom is fascinating, with their colorful display of various masquerades and cultural dances that has attracted international attention.
Akwa Ibom as a state was a dream, a vision by its forebears, the Ibibio Union. Right from 1928, the leaders of the Ibibio Union foresaw a day that the present Akwa Ibom would be a state, directing and determining its destiny within the Federation of Nigeria. The search for political, hence economic and social self-determination was tortuous and laborious. Yet the people, generations upon generations, persevered. Focused they remained. Steadfast they were. And so it was on the night of September 23, 1987, after 59 years of steadfast pursuit for political recognition, the heavens smiled on the people of then mainland part of Cross River State, as President Ibrahim Babangida announced to the joyful relief of the people the creation of Akwa Ibom State as the 21st state of Nigeria.
Oh, that was 1987. It was my greatest joy. I remember that day I had to drive my car around the whole of Calabar, shouting, "Glory be to God for giving us Akwa Ibom State."
Like a realization of decades of aspirations. For instance, I think it goes way back to 1946, when our people were struggling for what they call the core-state movement. Cross River, Ogoja, River State creation in those days. And that went throughout the First Republic. We were yearning for a state of our own. So when the states were created in 1967 and Akwa Ibom was not included, and even in those days when we were lumped together with Cross River State, it was very unwieldy. So when this separation was done, and the mainland part of the state was separated from the Cross River, it was a wonderful feeling. Our people were full of ecstasy. We were very excited, and we are still very excited that we have a state of our own.
Coming after nearly 60 years of the agitation, Akwa Ibom State at inception comprised the 10 local government areas that made up the mainland part of Cross River State. These were Itu, Ikorekbene, Okanafan, Ikono, Eket, Oran, Uyo, Ikorobasi, Abak, and Itinan. Uyo, formerly a commercial nerve center of the old Cross River State, was named the state capital of the new state. Culturally, Akwa Ibom is a homogeneous group with Ibibio, Anang, and Oron as the main languages and dialects. From 10 local government areas at inception, this thrown politically into 31 local government areas.
Since its creation on September 23, 1987 to May 29, 1999, Akwa has been ruled by 9 or their equivalents. Brigadier Tunde Ogbeha, Colonel Godwin Abe, Wing Commander Idong Esenkanga, Obong Okpani Semen, Lieutenant Colonel Yakubu Baku, Captain Joseph Adeusi, Group Captain John Ebie, Obong Victor, and now the incumbent Barrister Goswill Akpabio.
Over the past 20 years, developing the young state has not been easy, especially its state capital, which, although a commercial nerve center, was just a mere local government headquarters. The past administrations had a tedious task in providing modern administrative infrastructures and facilities to ensure governments are responsive to the needs of the people and settle down with the task of even development.
Brigadier Ogbeha succeeded in laying a foundation for the upward movement of the state. Colonel Abe consolidated on the achievements of his predecessor and opening up the state to take the impact of statehood to all nooks and crannies.
His tenure lasted for 2 years, and he was succeeded by Wing Commander Idong Nkanga. His 9-month tenure was short but eventful. As the first indigenous governor, Wing Commander Idong Nkanga was aware of the problem of his people on assumption of office. He quickly built the famous State Secretariat, now named after him. He also pioneered several other projects which were later completed by his successors.
On January 2, 1992, Obong Okpanisemen emerged, the first elected civilian governor of Akwa Ibom State. However, Obong Isemen began the construction of the new governor's office and took the fight for the abrogation of the offshore-onshore oil dichotomy to a successful end with the enactment of an enabling law by the Babangida administration. Following the takeover by General Abacha, Lieutenant Colonel Yakubu Bako was appointed military administrator. Among his achievements, the most outstanding was the construction of the specialist hospital started by Wing Commander Idong Nkanga.
Captain Joseph Adeusi, naval personnel, was next on board as the military administrator. Adeusi was a sportsman. He displayed this boldly. It was Captain Adeusi who established Ibom Stars Football Club, and for the first time a team Akwa Ibom took part in the Professional Football League. The club is now Akwa United. Notably, here is Samuel Peters, who fights for the WWB heavyweight title.
John Ebie, a group captain, succeeded Captain Adeusi. Within his 1-year stay as chief executive, Ebie completed the new governor's office started by Obong Okpanisemen. He also initiated the 100-unit housing estate along Udoma Avenue in the state capital that is now named after him.
May 29, 1999, the General Abubakar initiated transition to civil rule reached its destination point with the inauguration of civil rule in every part of the country. In Akwa Ibom State, architect Obong Victor Atta emerged the governor and 8th chief executive of Akwa Ibom for the initial 4-year tenure. He was re-elected for a second term which ended on May 29, 2007. Governor Atta came with the mission of Akwa Ibom Project, which was to transform the state from a civil service economy to a highly prosperous, educated, technology-driven, harmonious, safe and caring and pace-setting state in Nigeria. Akwa Ibom Project, as envisaged by Governor Atta, has brought solution to in all sectors.
Akwa Ibom State has made great strides in that period. Starting from when we just left the southeastern state, Cross River into Akwa Ibom State. First and foremost, infrastructure has improved. If you go around Uyo today, you would see some 8-lane highways. You will also see quite a few other roads that have been done. There have been some effort spent on other infrastructure improvement with mixed sort of results. But the important thing that it has started.
You cannot create an economic giant unless you lay the enabling environment for it to happen. And that's why if you look at the projects we started, some of which we finished, like this one here nearly finished, but others we couldn't finish entirely, you can see the linkages. You need power, 24-hour power. And nobody should have power. It's the federal government responsibility. But we insisted that we would do it here because we just knew that without power, there's very little else you can do. When you have power and you begin to now create an environment for people to come in and establish industries, they need a place to stay, and that's the hotel. And we didn't want to think in terms of purely a township hotel, but the resort, which is, demands an area like this and a golf course and so on. So you can see one thing leads to another, leads to another, leads to another. That was the vision we had. And that's why we put our fingers in a lot of pies, and we baked some to finish. Others are still in the cooking, and I believe that the next government is going to cook.
Akwa Ibom is one state that has always been lucky to have a leadership that is pragmatic, combines vision with drive. And so in the past, outside the military administrators, we've had two civilian governors, we had Akwa Ibom, although his reign was brief, but it was directional. We also had the immediate past governor of Ongata, who laid the foundations for most of what we are seeing today. He also tried his best. And again, you now have this young man, Barrister Akwa Ibom, who has given indication so far that he's somebody who knows what he's doing and where he's going to. I have no doubt at all that by the time his plans begins to unfold, it will add to what has been on ground in existence on ground, and it will further show up the states in terms of achievement and its capacity.
You know, we have to sustain the developments of the past 8 years in the area of building core infrastructure. Over the last 8 years, we addressed the issue of power, we addressed the issue of roads network, we also addressed, and now we're even doing more, the issue of security, because without security you cannot really have sustainable development. No matter what, you can do everything, but without security there's no way you can provide the enabling environment. So we have not joked with security, and I am happy that Akwa Ibom State remains the most peaceful state in this region.
Obong Atta, when it was time to take a graceful bow, handed over to Barrister Godswill Akwa Ibom as the 9th Chief Executive and Governor of Akwa Ibom State.
Governor Akwa Ibom is being assisted by Engineer Patrick Ekpo too as Deputy Governor. 20 years on, Akwa Ibom State has truly established itself among the Committee of States of the Federation.
The State House of Assembly is now in its 4th session. The present Speaker is Engineer Ignatius Edet. Together with the Executive, the legislative arm of government has forged a strong alliance that will provide the dividends of democracy to all and sundry in all nooks and crannies of Akwa Ibom State.
Democracy has really touched the life of our people, and the legislature is in fact one of the most important arms. It is what makes democracy, because in times that we used to have military regime, you don't have the legislature there, but the judiciary was always there. So it's a legislature that has really helped to integrate the people into the act of governance.
The immediate past and present governments have succeeded in keeping and maintaining peace in Akwa Ibom when a greater part of the Niger Delta was unstable. Barrister Akwa Ibom, who surely understands his people, has capitalized on the peaceful nature of Akwa Ibomites and maintained relative peace within the state.
What we met on ground, we needed to build on that peace. And so we've started a process of proper sensitization of the public on the need not to scare away people who are coming to develop the Niger Delta. The expatriate population, the oil industry, the entire economy of Nigeria, our monthly allocation depends on this oil. And so if we go ahead to go and block and stop the oil wells and all that, then automatically we are stopping our monthly allocation. We are trying to bring economic woes upon our people. And so that education is on, both on the radio, on the television, in churches, in schools. We try to educate our children on the need not to take to that kind of thing. And at the same time, as a government, we consciously decided to set up different machineries in order to maintain the peace. We don't just preach it, we want to practice it. And so you must have noticed all over the state that the federal government gave us permission to set up a joint security task force made of the Navy, the Army, and the rest. Not because Akwa Ibom is not, Akwa Ibom is peaceful, but because we want to ward off insurgency. We don't want all this infiltration We don't want the fallout effects of what is happening in our sisters here, so that people don't come and think that they have a safe haven in Akwa Ibom is peaceful. Therefore, militants can run here to hide.
Economically, Akwa Ibom State has become an investor's heaven, be it in tourism, agriculture, oil and gas, solid minerals. The government's policies and incentives, coupled with the peaceful atmosphere, have attracted many investments both locally and internationally. Worthy to note is the establishment of Nigeria's first privately owned refinery, the Akwa Refinery, which is currently under construction. When operational, Akwa Refinery will be poised to be the catalyst for Akwa Ibom oil and gas industrial revolution, as well as propel the development of SMEs in the state. It will also enhance product marketing and distribution, transportation, construction, and local support services.
And we're also hoping to develop our seaport, the Ibaka Seaport. It's going to be a beautiful thing to happen to Nigeria with the Ibaka Seaport. Without dredging, the Ibaka Seaport is about 11.5 meters deep without dredging. And it has capacity for it to be dredged to up to 15 meters. And this is an ocean-going seaport. And you know, the sea boundary of Nigeria with Cameroon is with Akwa Ibom State and Atibaka. And if we develop this seaport, it's going to take care of a very great major variety of things that will be coming to this area or to this region.
In education, the University of Uyo, Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic Ikorosurwa, Akwa Ibom State College of Education Afaransan, College of Agriculture Obiakba, and School of Remedial Studies Nukam provide the infrastructure for tertiary education in Akwa Ibom State. The completion of the Akwa Ibom University of Technology will catapult the state into a major science and technology base for its study and probable export.
Akwa Ibom is a state of people who are proud to be known as literate. We want to become a center for outsourcing. Outsourcing lives on knowledge, not just knowledge, innovative knowledge. So, the premise to try and turn our people the most literate, the most skilled, the most enterprising, has seen parts of the efforts that we've witnessed in the growth in the number of schools. Our inclination towards specialized education, we've now created the University of Technology, which is focused on addressing the issue of science and technology, not just for Akwa Ibom, remember, but for the entire globe. Because outsourcing means you can be here, be a citizen of the world, and give service to any part of the world.
In the communications sector, the state television and radio services under the auspices of Akwa Ibom Broadcasting Corporation, as well as the Akwa Ibom Newspaper Corporation, publishers of the Pioneer News, are waxing stronger despite teething problems. Akwa Ibom was in the line of the first few states in the country to enjoy GSM services because of government's initial investment. Today, all GSM providers are well established in all parts of the state.
A state endowed by nature with many resources, Akwa Ibom boasts of several natural resources. Outside oil and gas, in which the state is the second largest producer in the country, many of these natural endowments are awaiting commercial investments for exploitation. Agricultural resources such as oil palm, rubbers, raffia palm, cassava, cocoa and rice, particularly swamp rice, abound in the state, giving Akwa Ibom a comparative advantage.
Culturally, the state is endowed with colorful cultural festivals and dances, plus tourist attractions. The Low Meridian Hotels and Golf Resort ranks one of the best in this hemisphere, fit for golfers, the rank of Tiger Woods.
But what we have actually on ground is that we actually want to turn tourism, which used to be misconceived, to be just dancing, an exhibition of artifacts. We want to turn that into money-making venture. whereby we could go even beyond what the crude oil is doing for us. For instance, in Akwa Ibom today, like you have heard His Excellency the Governor say, we intend to expand and improve on this place. This place is very close by water to Tinapa, and we want to make it a very safe haven so that people will come enjoy themselves and expend their money, and that is exactly what we're after.
We are in the Le Méridien Ibom Hotel and Golf Resort. This was not there 4 years ago. This is still on the pedestrian its own, where it can bring in the very best, whether you look at the golf or whether you look at the hotel. We have tried to ensure that Akwa Ibom State is not only the most peaceful state in the Niger Delta, but it is also a haven of peace.
Obviously, the industrial sector of the state is not as vibrant as it should be. After many hitherto state-owned industries were moribund, happily, Champion Breweries is moving from strength to strength. Alscon in Ikoro's back to life. Aquasem is also taking. With government's intervention in these infrastructures, industrial revolution in the state is at a touching distance.
Barrister Godswill Akpabio, the 9th Chief Executive of the state, appreciates the burden of leadership. His vision for Akwa Ibom is as clear. With his deputy, a seasoned technocrat, the sky is the limit for the people of Akwa Ibom.
I believe strongly that we have to change the state from what we met, a totally civil service dependent, not much presence in terms of entrepreneurs and industries. So if we talk about industries, we may not have the money because it's no longer good business for governments to do industries. So what will we do? We are going to encourage the private sector. We will try to make conscious effort to partner with the private sector, to encourage entrepreneurs who are going to bring business here so they can take some of our children off the street. So that is one major factor, to do a gradual shift of the economy of the state from being a civil service dependent state into a state with a lot of entrepreneurs and industries. And so gradually, that is going to be a major focus.
At 20, Akwa Ibom State is 1 year above the teens and in its first year of adulthood. The journey to adulthood has not been without some difficulties, but the resoluteness and focus which underlined the struggle for statehood. With the humane administration of Governor Godswill Akpabio in place, Akwa Ibom is destined for greater heights. To realize this aim of an efficient, well-run government, the governor has organized a retreat for the EXCO, including all permanent secretaries, a 3-day retreat tagged Putting His Excellency Governor Godswill Akpabio's vision for a greater Akwa Ibom state to work.
The governor's aim with this retreat is for the EXCO to be acquainted with the governor's vision for a greater Akwa Ibom state, have the set development milestones and legacies for the administration, adopt teamwork approach, collective responsibilities, and servant leadership orientation, gain insight into the workings of the machinery in Akwa Ibom State, and develop ministerial work plans and project benchmarks.
I am happy that this has happened this time, particularly at the starting point of an administration like this, because the records are put straight, the vision of the government has been laid bare, and everybody understands the direction of activities and events in years and days to come. So much has been learned, and the people, all the participants are excited about it. I am sure it is going to add so much to the knowledge that we originally had, and Akwa Ibom State will be the better for it.
Already, all sections of the state and all classes of people have queued behind him to realize the Akwa Ibom dream of being a pace-setting state in the country, with the aim of making the state a united, prosperous, caring, highly educated, technology-driven state, the envy of others.
20 years from now, the people of Akwa Ibom truly say that the land of promise with the current developmental drive, Akwa Ibom State will truly be the land of fulfillment.
There's a hope. The present leadership of the nation, of the states, I think they are visionary leaders, and they are going to do something great for us.
20 years is just the beginning. In the next 10, 15, 20, 30 years, when you come back to Akwa Ibom, you will have cause to give God the glory.
In the next 20 years, will be a small London.
I believe that if we continue at the pace we are going, Akwa Ibom State will turn out to be one giant that the entire world will be looking at. Right now, I can say we are pace setters.
As Governor of Akwa Ibom said, myself and my team that you have seen, we are not developing Akwa Ibom on the pages of newspapers. We are developing consciously for our people. So we would like to see in 20 years from now, Akwa Ibom will be referred to as first amongst equals. From 36 to the first, the story of the Akwa Ibom economy. We will turn things around for the betterment of our people, and we'll be very proud.